All right, guys, you want to know the process of buying a house in Costa Rica? This is the video for you because that's what we're going to be talking about in 1 minute. Hey guys, I'm Michael Allen for Travel Costa Rica Now Real Estate. If you have not subscribed, please help us out. Subscribe if you want to see videos as we put them up. Hit the notification bell. We really do provide a lot of information. Yes, we have houses to buy, listings, but we also do videos like this. So we'd totally appreciate it if you would subscribe and hit the notification bell. Real quick, we have another relocation retreat coming up soon, man. I would love to see you there. I love hanging out at the pool with you guys. So if Costa Rica is on your radar, you're not sure if you want to live there or not, we don't blow smoke. It's the good, the bad, the ugly of living in Costa Rica. By the end of the seminar, you'll absolutely know if Costa Rica is right for you or it's honey, we're going to police. So all that info and the dates are in the link in the description below. We're talking to our very bestest of real estate friends, Jean. I like that. Oh, that should be your stick.
No, this is my
Yes, I like this.
My sign of humility.
Yes, I like it.
Yeah.
This is going to be a theme. Every video, you need to remember to do that. All right, guys, we're going to talk about the process. Let's go. Let's get it. Okay, so we are going to assume that you're using a great real estate agent like Jean. Okay, we've got other videos about how things can go south. We're talking about the process. I picked out a house. She showed it to me. I want to buy it. What do we do?
Okay. So in a nutshell, you see a house you love. First of all, you need to have a lawyer. If you don't have a lawyer, I have a lawyer. I have lawyers. But
Can I stop real quick?
Okay.
Because I forgot to ask you in the other video we made. How is it a conflict of interest if the real estate lawyer is representing both parties?
No, not really. Not really.
It's depending, maybe.
You first establish how much you want to buy the house for with the seller, and then once that's established, there's really no conflict of interest.
Okay, and it kind of saves a little. Yeah.
It saves money for sure. But the buyer is the one who pays for the lawyer. Sometimes the seller likes to have their own lawyer. Just because, people have trust issues.
And do you? We're not saying you need to do. That was just a question. So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. So the lawyer, first of all, needs to do the due diligence. Every house comes with a document called the Plano Catastro.
Right.
This plano has the property number, how much the size of the property. And with the property number, what the lawyer can do, and only registered lawyer in Costa Rica can do that, no realtor or anybody else can do that, is they can go in the system and check this house for defects, mortgages, liens, titles. Sometimes if the title's not clean, you either clean the title or we won't recommend you buying it because that beach houses have concession. What you want is the clean title, like the transfer, if the house belongs to Mike and I want it, it needs to be transferred under my name. Usually we recommend buying it under a corporation because you can just say the corporation can be 100% under your name or 50-50 with somebody else.
Just real quick, tell them, the general, how much a corporation costs. $600?
Like $600. Yeah. If the lawyer is charging you more than that, be careful with that lawyer.
But it can change. If he says $650, don't get all crazy. I'm just saying that it should be around $500, $700.
It should be around $600. Yeah. Not less than $600.
All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, so where was I at? So if the lawyer checks everything and they're like, green light, you can do this. What you do, the first thing you need to do is put in a purchase agreement. The purchase agreement basically has all the information, like how much you want to offer. And usually you would verbally talk to the seller to agree on a price because maybe it's being priced at $500. You find an inspector, you go inspect the house and there's like this thing wrong with it. And you're like, this is going to be, renovation cost for me. I want to offer you $475. And then the seller can either accept it, decline it, or augment the price, and usually they do the latter. So let's say you go in with $475 and they're like, no, we want $490. So let's say you agree on it. On the purchase agreement, you're gonna put your name, your ID number, where you live, if you're single, whatever. But the most important thing is how much you're offering for the house, all the terms. If you're gonna be paying a mortgage for the house, if it's gonna be financed, what's the percentage. Basically, it's an agreement to say I'm buying this house for this price by this time.
Right.
That's the gist of it. So let's say everybody signs this, and usually you put down a deposit, and the deposit ensures that the seller does not show the house to any more people. The house is tentatively yours. And if you don't buy the house, you lose that deposit. So it protects both parties. If the seller, let's say last minute goes, I don't want to sell anymore, they need to give you back that deposit, and that's on the document. So usually the deposit is about 10% of the house, but people here, they want to sell their house so bad that I could bring that price down for you, because most people don't have all that cash in Costa Rica. So we can work it out, but usually it's a purchase agreement with a deposit and signature. Now, you would say, let's say, I want to buy this house by this date, let's say a month from now. The next step would be to go through an escrow. And what the escrow does is they check that your money is not laundered. So they're going to want...
Who's getting me my escrow? I don't know how to do that.
I have an escrow. I've gone through 10 escrows.
How convenient. No.
And I found a very good one, because a lot of the escrows here are, they have so many clients, and then sometimes you send them documents and they're like, did you send it to me? Did you not? You don't want someone like that.
So if it wasn't you, they're buying somewhere else that you don't represent, who's getting the escrow? Does a real estate agent get you the escrow? Do you get it? Is it better you find one yourself?
You can find one yourself. The realtor usually, if they're very experienced, they might have some contacts. But
I would say they normally do. I mean,
they normally do, but you can find your own. You can find your own lawyer too. You don't have to take the recommendations, but it's all your choice.
Right. Okay. Just want to make sure.
Right. So what the escrow is going to ask from you is like basically 6 months of income, and where did you get this money from? Let's say you sold a house. You sold your house in the United States, and you have $500,000. Now they know the house is not laundered. The money is not laundered. Or you got your grandfather died and you got all this inheritance. That's another way to prove it. Or you can show your income in the last 2 years to say, hey, I made $500,000.
And the bank account's going to prove that because you've been saving.
They usually want the most recent 6 months income statement of your bank, and also just proof, a document of where you got your money from, basically.
We should say escrow can be sometimes a bitch, actually. Not always, but sometimes it can be a long process.
It's the worst part of it, because you need to give them all this document. You need to fill out all these forms, but this is the process. You have to do it.
Okay, so we got the escrow going.
So the escrow checks your money. It takes about 2 weeks to check that your money's clean. Then we have a green light. Okay, so then what you need to do is you need to come to Costa Rica, or you can sign over power of attorney to have a lawyer sign the house over to you. I've had a client do that without coming to Costa Rica at all, from the beginning to end. You need to find a lawyer that you really trust in order to do that. But normally I don't recommend buying a house that you haven't seen. Like we make videos of it. Maybe you're just like, I'm in love, I just need this now. And you can do it, but I don't recommend.
Well, I would say, I'm going to say it. If you saw it from us, you're good. But that's not normally the case. A lot of people don't want to be in this area. So so we're trying to give you general information so you can make a good decision. But I think for us, I would actually, if I saw our videos, I go, I like that Michael guy. I've been watching him for a while. I think I trust him, and she seems cool. I think they could do it.
At least hire an inspector. At least just hire an inspector before you buy it.
Yeah, she might miss something. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, where was I? So the escrow checks your money, and let's say everything's clean.
Oh no, we got down to where you should come down here.
You need to come down here to sign over the house.
Right.
So let's say we said July 10th. So on July 10th, you need to come to Costa Rica. We're gonna meet with the seller and the buyer need to be in one room with the lawyer, and they basically do the documents of the house. The title actually takes 24 hours to change into your name. So we sign everything, and then you're on the phone with the escrow, and basically when everything's signed, to say everything has been transferred over to the new person, we call the escrow. We go, and the escrow already has all the money calculated. The agent, the lawyer, the escrow themselves,
whoever's getting money,
seller, whoever's getting money is going to get money. Now, the seller is responsible for paying only the agent. So the buyer does not pay the real estate agent. So you pretty much get an agent for free, per se. because it's an agreement with the seller. Now, what you are responsible for paying is the lawyer fee, which is approximately 4.5%. Yeah, the buyer is responsible for the lawyer fee, and that you can't escape from. It's a one-time fee.
Can you negotiate with the buyer? Can you go?
Not really. The government has a set.
Oh, okay.
Has a set amount that, you know, if the lawyer's really nice, they can give you a little discount. But basically, you have to pay for like all of the you know, the legal stuff of buying a house. You know, I don't even know how to say it in English.
Well, you're buying a house. You need to get those documents.
You gotta do your thing. And then the lawyer fee altogether total should be about 4.5% of the house.
Which, keep that in mind.
Keep that in mind. So when you're buying a house, if you're budgeting $450 and you see a house for $450, be ready to pay a little more. It's not going to just be $450.
Yeah, but this is I've heard this before, and some people, you know, they can get lost in the money thing, and all of a sudden it's like it's not 4.5. If they did the math, they bought it, they've had it for a while, and then they go relook at the math, and it was like 8% or 9%. You're like, damn, I got ripped off somewhere.
Yeah, that happens often.
I know.
Which is why you need a good realtor.
Right.
Okay, so just my biggest advice is don't put all your money into the house. You need to have a little extra. Always. Always. Some people do that.
I do have just a side question. I don't know, maybe this starts a whole nother video. What if, for instance, you do all this and it's a turnkey operation. Everything is laid out. I get this, and this. That's my couch. I'm keeping that or whatever. What if you went into the house and things weren't there, like gone? What's the recourse on something that's gone, that went south, that was in the document? Because it's not, I mean, I've lived here long enough to know that I'm going to sue. Okay.
Typically, people here don't do that if it's on the document. You can use this document to scare them.
So the legalese of it all is... Okay.
The legal, you need to, everything that matters to you needs to be put on the document. For example, you go, hey, I'm going to buy this house with the condition that the pool is fixed, or the door is fixed, or else you're going to give me my money back. That should be written on the document.
Yeah, I guess if everybody's doing their job.
That should be actually on the purchase agreement.
By the time you're signing, everything should be...
Everything, you should probably get the inspector to go back and check it. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, do you do that as a real estate agent? I'm just asking. I
have inspector contacts that you can hire.
So, like, to make sure, like, okay, we're going to sign documents tomorrow. Let's go check out some things. I don't know.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And if it's not what you agreed on, then you can be like, I'm not signing the house tomorrow. Usually the seller will not do that to you because they really want to sell you. They want the money. So unless they're really, really stupid or something wrong happened.
Yeah, there's still consequences of that thing that happened a couple years ago, that people do need some cash. They might have assets. They might own a bunch of land or a bunch of things, but they don't have cash. And that's why, I mean, on a side thing, that it's not really a bad time to be looking at buying.
Most people here, the locals here are land rich, cash poor.
Yeah,
they want cash. They need cash, and foreigners have cash, don't have land. Right. So it's an exchange.
Okay, so you signed over. Is everything good? Are we good?
Okay, so just to touch on the cost of everything, the escrow usually costs about $1,000. You can go through the bank, but I don't recommend it because, first of all, they don't speak English. They may freeze your fund. And also, you need to really trust the seller because all the money is going to the seller. And then the seller ends up paying everyone instead of a third-party escrow that just pays everybody.
I already don't like that.
Yeah, right. I don't recommend it, but the bank way is a little bit cheaper. Like, instead of $1,000, you're looking at maybe $300. But I wouldn't save on that here. I wouldn't
either.
No,
I don't like that one.
So basically, you sign the papers, you tell the escrow sends the money, everybody's cheering, you go party, and then the house is yours within 24 hours usually, and that's it. And then you have to go and change your name on electricity bills, water bills.
Yeah.
The due diligence.
Yeah, water and all that.
Oh, and another thing to mention is that if you do owner financing or you do owner mortgage, which is the only type of financing I would recommend, don't go with banks or any, private lenders. If the owner finances, let's say you have $100,000 that you're financing over 3 years, that house is not going to be under your name until it's been paid off 3 years later. So, the document,
to consider.
The document protects you for that. And the good thing about that is that there's no penalty for paying everything early. Because I know in Canada and the States,
true.
if you pay it early, then there's
they
a
lost
penalty.
all their interest.
But here it is beneficial to make all the money. Let's say you sold your house in the States, all of a sudden you have all this money, pay off your mortgage.
But you should know that most people that come down here and buy stuff, you do normally use cash. That's
cash is the way to go.
Cash is king. That's 90% or so of the transactions when people are buying land or anything down here. It's usually cash.
The other scenario is
actually, how much is what do you say in just your experience? How much is owner finance? If you had to guess,
it's negotiable.
I know, but no.
Negotiable.
I mean, how many times does that happen? Not what the price is. I'm assuming that most people got the cash to buy that house. Is that not true?
I would not recommend buying a house that you can't afford.
Right? No,
unless you have a job that pays really well and you're really cash poor.
I know, but isn't that I'm asking the question. I'm just saying, if you look back on all the stuff, what would you say?
I would say about 10% of people probably want owner financing because a lot of people are cash poor. They have money, they just don't have it in liquid cash.
Right.
Especially if the house like $500,000 to $1 million. Nobody has that much in cash. If they had that, they'd invest it somewhere already. So you just, if you need time to free up your cash, you could potentially do owner financing. The other way, so the title does not fall under your name until you pay it off, but there is a way that you can have it immediately, and that is if the owner has a mortgage with the bank, so then you take over the bank. But the bank mortgage...
Take over the mortgage.
So, sorry.
I was like, damn, I'll take over the bank.
So you take over the mortgage, however, that mortgage name won't be under your name. But if you don't pay off that mortgage, there's a lien on your house.
Right.
So it's not under, so you need to pay that mortgage. The mortgage is probably a little bit better. First of all, probably less interest rate. And also, some of them are like 20-year mortgages. So you pay very little per month and you can just pay it off.
Like I don't think this is going to... Here's what normally happens, I think. Most people, whether you're in Canada or the United States or wherever, you can sell your house for pretty good money right now. And whatever money you get, you can definitely use that money to buy a really nice house down here and still have money left over. So you sell your house wherever you're at for $500,000. You don't need a $500,000 house here. You can get a really, really nice place with acreage and everything for $250,000. You know what I mean? So that's why I think mostly it's cash here, and people have cash. And if they do it right, you're not trying to overextend yourself. You can find a really nice property for probably half, even less than what you sold your house for from wherever you're at.
If you have 100,000, I would spend 80,000. If you have $1 million, I would probably spend $500,000.
Yeah. Well, the million people don't. They're the condo by the beach. They do what they do.
Well, you never know. Maybe a millionaire likes the hot springs.
We got some nice houses. We can do that. Yeah. We can do that.
Oh, and another thing to mention: in order to get residency in Costa Rica in the investment route, you can buy a house that's at least $150,000.
Yeah.
And you can apply for residency.
Right. Do that.
But there's another way around it.
This is the process of buying a house. What are you doing now?
I'm sorry.
We got to slow down.
Maybe that should have been on the FAQ video.
I got a feeling we're going to be making a lot of videos, so I'm sure we'll hit it somewhere.
Okay.
Well, no, you can finish your point.
Okay. Well, if you don't have 150,000, that's where you can buy a house. Let's say you see a house that's downtown and they're selling it really cheap. You can buy it, for example, for 80 or 90,000. Fix it up, have an appraiser come and appraise the house. Yep. Maybe the appraiser says it's worth 200,000. Now you have a house that's at least worth 150,000, and you can take that to apply for residency. Now,
are you going to keep going on this?
Yes, there's a lot of information.
I know, but this is another. Okay. We're doing the process. We don't want to overwhelm them with more stuff. I mean, I'm with you, but we're going to get to all that in other videos, I think.
Okay, fine.
Don't be mad, Twan. Guys, this is exactly cool because these videos are going to have more questions and answers, and that's why she's available.
There's a lot to cover.
Yes, if you want to hear what she was about to say, email me at info@travelcostaricanow.com. I will get it over to Jean, and she'll finish what she was going to say and let you know all about the taxes. Jean, thanks. I appreciate it. Guys, things are going to pop up if you're thinking about living or traveling anyway. I think things pop up on this channel. I'm not sure if we're there yet, but if they do, always do your homework and research. And if it's about Costa Rica, I'm going to say you should listen to us. watch our videos. They're going to pop up.
No bullshit.
Ciao.